Yeah.
You know it's going to be live with us walking through the shops.
Oh,
now.
it is what
Literally,
it is what it is.
you've gone live with us not even fucking
It is what it is, mate. Everything keeps
Oh,
breaking.
that's perfect.
Okay, welcome to the Tavern podcast.
Hello,
I'm
people.
not your host, Glenn. Glenn is sat that up
what
at
are
the
you
moment trying to
staring
sort
Glenn's
stuff
in
out.
my way.
What do you mean?
Welcome.
Like
Hello,
if we've actually
people.
gone
This
live.
is.
Yeah.
I think this is the most fucked start we've had with this so far.
You know, I'm fairly.
Nothing.
I'm really
has
sorry,
worked
chat.
today.
We've had technical difficulties today.
The microphones didn't
Yay!
work.
As
and then they
always.
did-
It's
and then
actually
they did
working.
work.
Holy
and then-
shit! Right, sorry, chat. Like
Oh, man.
every bit of equipment that we've needed to use has just been a pain, but it's working now.
We're here.
Hopefully you can hear everyone. We've got Samuel who's on Discord, so if you talk a sec, Samuel, hopefully you can hear.
Hello.
Can you hear Samuel
Hopefully I'm
too?
not blowing people's ears out.
Yeah,
That's
we'll wait
alright,
for
we do that on
some
a
chat
daily.
confirmation from that first.
Hey, Will. Hey, Tyrus.
Go on,
Hello.
Glenn, do an intro.
Right then.
I said, do an
I'm looking at chat. I want to know if they can actually hear
I
Samuel.
love the silence then.
There's going to be somebody in the comments of this who's like,
Sam is a little quiet.
go
Will
to
sing.
5 minutes to
Yeah, it's a start.
skip the
Well,
technical
we can
difficulties.
actually cut it out. He's a little quiet. Okay, one sec. See?
All right, boys, go to 5
Uno
minutes to skip the
momento.
technical difficulties and see us straight into it,
He's probably too loud now. What's
as
that
is
number,
the
Sam?
standard nowadays.
1.8. Negative 1.8.
Fuck it out. Is Glenn going for the C-list film director look? That's rough.
Negative
That is what it
2.
is. I mean, I'm obese, so you know.
Aw,
What's that got to do with it?
I don't know.
I think it's the hat,
Yeah, whatever.
the headphones and
Um,
stuff. Thanks, Adam.
Sorry, I'm still
Do an
looking at
intro,
chat.
Glenn.
Welcome to the podcast. There we go.
For all the intros you've done, I think that's the worst one. I'm not saying something.
With,
Oh my goodness.
with the technical difficulties on top of just the hello, welcome
Yeah.
to the podcast. Yeah, A+.
That's all we want.
It was pretty bad, Glenn.
Pardon?
It was pretty bad.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about this week is awkward dating moments. So I guess a good place to start is, does anyone in the group have any? Also, chat, if you have someone you want to share, we'll try our best to pick up on them. We might miss them, but let us know anyway. So for me personally, I don't really have any because I don't think I've ever been on like a first date. So maybe that makes me a loser that way, but I don't know. Kate, Samuel, Sam, do you have any that you'd
Not
want to share?
really.
My awkward ones don't come from first dates. They come from dating someone for like a longer period of time and then something bad happens. Very akin to what we were talking about before we went live.
Oh.
I don't think I heard that bit.
Oh, okay. Did I cut out?
Is this
No, as
Is
in
it,
heard it
as in-
beforehand.
yeah. Is
Yeah,
it
I
something
didn't
you
know
can
it
share,
was, so I
or
didn't hear
you
it.
don't want to share?
Oh yeah, no, this was years ago. I was seeing someone, and basically I would be travelling into London to see them. And one time, you know, I've been with her since the previous night, and then suddenly some guy lets himself into her kitchen through the front door.
Oh,
And
no.
she's just immediately gone, oh, he's broken into the flat, get rid of him. It's like, I have a key. Like the guy said, I have a key. I'm your boyfriend.
Oh god.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's rough.
I just let myself out. I just left.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Yeah.
You literally just go, bye. Just take off and leave. You don't bother. Nah, no chance. Ah,
Yeah,
That's
you just
awkward.
kind of like, oh, I'll see you later. Never again.
That is awkward. No, chat, just to explain, what I mean is I've never been on like a first date with someone I've not known or ever. The only relationships I've ever been in is like people in your friendship
someone
group.
you know.
And by the time you like go out for a meal or something, you already know each other, you
Yeah.
know, so well. Like, and it's not even like it's an official date or whatever. Like, I've never been on like Tinder or something and met a random person. That's scary. That is.
Yeah, nor have I. I mean, it's always been like dates where I've talked to that person for a long period of time and then we've gone for a date, but I've never really had anything awkward.
What? So what?
someone's just gone, as into Samuel's story.
Yeah.
The next shift guy's coming.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was night shift. That guy
Yeah.
was morning shift. And then there's mid shift.
You clocked out and you were like, okay, punch my card. I'm
No, I
off.
I
tagged
cocked
in.
out.
You clocked
Yeah,
out.
clocked
oh,
out. That's the
nice.
one. Yeah. What did I say?
Clock down.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know if my explanation about my
Good lord.
situation was good enough because there's still questions, but I don't know. It makes sense to me.
I think
like-
you're asking the wrong group of people because normally I'll have known somebody for a bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like normally, I mean, first dates are awkward anyway, but like you already kind of know the person. You kind of, I don't know. I'm not particularly a Tinder fiend or anything like that, so I don't.
I've been catfished.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
How?
That's
Um,
interesting.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Oh my god, this
How'd
was
it happen?
years
Go on.
and years
Yeah.
and years ago. Like when I was like 17, 18, maybe younger. And I was chatting to a guy for a long time, and he sent me pictures, and then we were like, okay, we'll meet at this place and go for a date. And then I was standing waiting outside, and he was late. And then this guy showed up, but he was not
Oh, never.
the picture, completely
Christ.
opposite. And he came up to me and goes,
Better
"Oh, are
or
you
worse?
okay?" And I was like, "No." And I walked off.
No way.
Honestly,
Did you actually?
that is the best
And I
response
felt,
to that situation.
I felt horrible,
that you
but he
could have
lied to
possibly-
me.
100%, yeah.
That's incredible. So when you said he was the opposite, was
Yeah.
it the same face?
No, like completely.
So it was
different
just a
face,
different person completely?
person, yeah.
Imagine though, right? If the person who was like a UK was just someone who you went to school with.
No, but he was
And
like,
the
he was
date
looking
was
at me.
not
like,
there yet, and
he
you
was
just
looking at me, and he was
bolted it and you
really
stood someone
awkward.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Please don't say this is a guy, please." I just knew it. And he's like, "Oh, UK," and I was like,
It's one of
Sorry,
those where you
no.
just like you have that feeling
Yeah.
that that's what the person's
Yeah.
there. No, oh my god, that's hilarious. That's both horrendous and hilarious though.
know.
Like, oh my god, I couldn't imagine how mortified you were at the time, mind you.
"Oh, I was."
Like,
Yeah.
I think I would have just died of embarrassment. I don't know what I would have done. Glenn would have just died. Like, he would have actually had a heart attack at that point if that happened.
Oh, 100%.
Do you imagine that, Glenn? You meeting up with somebody, like,
But the
that
thing
you're
is
really
that I
interested
wouldn't
in.
do it in the first place.
No?
Nah, like the thought of finding someone on Tinder or any sort of online dating
But
and then
back
having
then,
to meet
we
up
didn't
with
have
them.
Tinder. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't.
So how
Fucking
did you speak to them
MSN, sending
initially?
pictures.
So there was like there used to be this
That
like
shows my age. I just said you were on MSN sending pictures back and forth.
I mean there was MSN, but no, it was.
I was gonna say,
I
I
remember
think
this
that
group.
fits what it
There
was.
was
It does.
Face Party. Yeah,
I don't know what
That
is.
sounds like a dogging
Sounds
website.
I mean,
dirty,
it was,
It sounds incredibly dodgy
it,
for
it was
no other
dodgy.
reason than
It
just
was dodgy,
Okay.
and that's probably
Yeah.
why I shouldn't have been on it. But yeah, it
No
was a
wonder
long
you got
time ago.
catfished on a website called that. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I know.
That's ridiculous. I've not had awkward like dating things, but
Yeah.
like Glenn, you remember, I was just an awkward person whenever we went out for food or anything as a group.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like really bad. It was a common thing. Like I'm so much better now, but like I was just not good at social interaction at all when I first met the boys. Like really, really,
Lucky
really
you,
bad.
man.
Yeah.
basically the waiter would come over and you would be like, "Oh no, what's Sam gonna do now?" Because I hate like cringe or embarrassing stuff in public, and not even if it's to do with me. If it's like secondhand, I want to get out of the situation. So
I
like
feel ya.
even sometimes like early on now, like when we first started hanging out with Sam, even ordering his food was like could be cringe, and you just sat there like it is. Oh, it's Sam's turn next. You're like, just let me get away. Like,
Yep.
How though?
just waiting for the ground
In
to
what way?
open and swallow you when you wait,
Pretty
like
much.
listening to his
Yeah.
order.
At that point.
I just don't know how to describe it other than just being like really socially awkward and like kind of not understanding like politeness cues and stuff. So if there's, you know, some stuff where you wouldn't comment on it and you'd say it in your
Keep it
inside
to yourself.
voice.
Yeah.
You know, like if a waiter messed up a bit or made a mistake or something was bumped, like you're all like laughing, it's embarrassing for the waiter or whatever, like keeping
Yeah.
it inside you. But Sam would just flat out, you know, point it out and like call them out, like just right to their face. And you're all like dying inside. And he doesn't realize what he's done. He's like, oh, well, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It's just really awkward.
I was just very honest and very blunt and not at all. So I wasn't a particularly a social butterfly when I was younger, so didn't have any of those. Far better now,
Yeah.
way better now. But like, yeah, it was a common thing. I'd be sat there like, what have I done? And everyone's like, you're so awkward. I'm like, what have I done? And Glenn has never called it cringe in the past. Then
No,
this-
maybe
so
like
cringe is
awkward.
is
It's
probably a good
awkward.
word for it.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Actually, there was times I cringed, so maybe maybe it is the right term.
Just not at all. Like there was, I don't know. I would never take into account the social situation we were in, the people around, or anything like that. I'd basically be like the group we're with is in its own like room essentially. Even though there were people sat behind me, sat anywhere else, I'd just be fucking like swearing left, right, and centre, not really taking into account whoever's around. Didn't really care. I was just like wherever they're enjoying their night, I'm enjoying mine. There was once where I can't remember where we went. It was like a theme park restaurant or something, and you can see it on his face. He remembers this.
We went to Drayton Manor, right?
It
Which
was
is
Drayton Manor, was
It's
it?
a theme park, you know. It's obviously kids
Yeah.
everywhere, and we're sat in a restaurant surrounded by families, and basically Sam is saying every swear word under the sun, really loud, to the point where I know in the UK, I guess the C word isn't that bad, but obviously some places it's considered bad. He's saying that just blasting loud, and all the boys are like, "You need to stop," but he just wasn't taking any of it in.
I'm just like,
And we were getting
I'm
so
with
many
my mates.
stinkers from families
Just
who were with
chilling
their
out.
kids. Like,
I completely oblivious to all of this. Not at all. Because I'm like, I'm minding my business. They're minding theirs, whatever. Just didn't even take it into consideration at all. Now I'm far better, but like,
definitely improved.
way better. But I was just like, who fucking cares? Like, whatever. Just living my life, having fun. It was, it was interesting.
Well, I guess since we don't have any more stories, then we'll move on to awkward dating moments that I found on the internet. So some are pretty tame, some are a bit outrageous. Maybe at the end, chat, you can let us know which one you think was the worst, right? So starting off with a pretty tame one, we talked about avocados for an hour because it was the only thing we had in common. I don't quite know how you have avocados in common. Like,
And how'd you chat about it
how
for
do
an
you?
hour?
How do
Wait,
you?
what? They started talking and then we're talking about avocados for an
Yeah.
hour.
Because that's the only thing they had in common.
It's basically the only conversation they could hold was about avocados.
And how can you talk about avocados
But
for
like-
a fucking hour?
Surely it must extend beyond like avocados. It has to go to things like you make you make using avocados. It can't just be avocados.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. But
That's
It's
impressive.
got to be like
Either way,
guacamole
like-
or something.
That's actually impressive
Yeah.
to talk about something so small for that long. I struggle to talk about things I'm interested in for 20 minutes, let
Yeah.
alone an hour.
yeah,
Like,
if they did
Actually.
actually manage to talk just about the topic of avocados for that long, that's actually quite impressive.
I think it's a good relationship.
Do you?
why? Go on,
you
Stan. Why?
would. You would, Stan.
Well, I mean, if you can connect that long on a subject like that, as minuscule as avocados,
Yeah.
I mean, you got something, right? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Fair, that is.
But do you not see it the other way where you cannot connect on
Oh, it's very sad.
anything
Yeah,
else
it's
in
the
the
only-
world?
It's the only
Only
and the only
avocados.
common interest you have is avocado.
That's
Yeah.
I
mental.
just thought it was funny.
That
That
is
is.
funny. All right, so the next one then
Jesus.
is I thought it was a date, but she thought it was dinner. I mean, that's obviously a
Dude.
common one, but
I've actually heard this is a common thing for many people where they're like, even one of my mods said the other day that she went out for a meal with a friend like multiple times, just thinking it was friends,
yeah.
and then found out afterwards the other guy considered it dates, and she was like, oh.
That's awkward, isn't it?
Oh,
And I
I
didn't even fathom that was a thing. Sorry, carry on.
I was going to say I misunderstood first. I was sitting thinking
Yeah.
like, surely you outline it clearly between both parties. Like, this is why we're going out. You make it clear for both people. Like, oh, we're just grabbing food,
Yeah.
or like we're going on a date. Like, you make that clear.
I think if you're nervous, I think that can get lost in communication.
Yeah.
But
Well, it-
that's what it
Oh,
is. It's just
God.
lack of communication. Like,
Can you imagine how rough that is as well,
would
though?
be rough.
You're sat there and you're like, oh, fine. Like, you worked up the courage to ask him out for dinner. And you're like, oh my God, finally, yes, we're on a date. Yes, I can't fucking wait. Oh my God, it's going to be so
and you're
great.
like, oh, thanks for dinner, mate.
You
Yeah.
go through it all, you finish it, and you're like, that was so fucking good, yes. And then later you find out that they didn't consider it a date at all. They thought it was just dinner, and you're like,
I guess that one is more murky between like friends, or if you're colleagues, or I don't know, you're in the
Yeah.
same, you're in like a uni the same group or something where you've already got a connection, and obviously one is just doing it to like hang out as friends, but the other one thinks like, we're going out because we're dating or whatever. So that one is quite cringe.
Sorry, I've just read through some of these future ones.
I
Oh my
need to
god.
stop. I've said cringe too many
They're
times
fucking
already.
bad. Yeah,
I
you
need
call
to-
me cringe
I
in
need
the
to
first
stop,
5
like,
minutes.
I hate the word.
It's
All right,
fucking
I love
true,
cringe
though. Dude,
stories.
it is actually a thing, though.
what?
Do you like cringe?
What is in the
Like
word
watching
or
it?
the stuff?
Watching it.
Oh, absolutely no. I'll squirm. I hate it. I
Really?
want to turn it off.
Or
I
are you
love
okay?
it. Robert hates it, but
Yeah?
I fucking love it.
You
When
love
I
it.
was in high school, I used to bring in magazines so
Yeah.
me and the girls could read all the cringe stories.
Mate, they're class.
I love cringe stories.
I absolutely
and,
adore
do you
it.
like the ask me anything sort of thing?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and or it's like the help section where they're like, oh, can you help me? Like the help
Yeah.
anti stuff. You know?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there used to
yeah.
be one
Yeah.
in the Sun
Agony
News.
aunts.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
that's the one.
yeah.
Agony aunts.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one. I used to love
That
them
dates
as well.
me as well.
Yeah, it'd be in the fucking Sun newspaper when I read it when I was really young. Because that's what my mum read.
Oh, for me, it used
and
to
I'd
be.
go to the fucking, I can't even remember what her name was. It was the agony aunts
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they
Yeah.
like submit questions and then the person responds.
Yeah.
I'm sat there reading these stories of these fucking losers. Like, yeah, this is class. This is amazing.
hell.
I loved it, dude. I love cringe so much.
It was like
I thrive
Auntie
on it.
something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like
it was anti
Auntie
something.
something reads your
like-
messages. And,
They had them in
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
Auntie Anne or some
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
like that. I can't even remember what it was, but I fucking love it. I love
love it, I
watching
love it.
programs. Like reality shows, some people hate them, like Love Island and things like that. I fucking love it. I sit
love,
there, I get so invested. I'm like,
Do you know what I
these
really
is
love? I
cringe as
hate
fuck.
Love Island, although I
Yeah.
really fucking hate Love Island. But I love Love is Blind. You ever watch that?
I haven't, but I've heard
Oh, that's
people
really
love
good.
it.
They've got a UK version coming soon.
They
I can't
actually?
wait to-
So if people don't know what Love is Blind
Auntie
is,
Ethel. That's what it was. I had the E word in my
Is it
head.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Auntie Ethel. Yeah.
if you don't know what Love is Blind is, then it's basically two people going into a pitch black room.
It's
and
not. It's not.
try and
It's
date. Is that not it?
basically they got like a group of girls, a group of boys, and then they have like two pods they go in, and they're both connected via a wall, but they can both hear each other.
Yeah.
So they're not like, but
Yeah.
then they connect that way by talking about stuff, their life, and that's how they connect. And then they gotta propose to that person,
Right.
if like throughout like the group of guys or group of girls, and then they meet face to face after they proposed, and then they go on a honeymoon, like a mini like sort of holiday.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a honeymoon.
Like a
thing.
honeymoon sort of thing. And then after that honeymoon, they move in together for a week and then they get married.
Oh Jesus fucking
And then
Christ!
they've got to decide at the altar whether they say yes or no at the altar.
That sounds
Horrendous.
horrendous.
And it can be so cringe.
Oh.
Like really cringe.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love it.
I love
Not a
that.
chance.
Fucking lap that
That's
shit up.
such a
I lap
funny
that shit
idea.
up. I love it.
I don't know why I enjoy it so much. For the life of me, I don't know. I sit there and I'm just so absorbed in these weird characters, and I'm just like, you obviously hope that they're all happy and stuff.
Yeah.
But that moment of like, where it's like you've sucked a lemon, like that, where your entire body cringes into. I love
Yeah.
it.
How
I
can
love
you
it so
enjoy
much.
that though? That experience
class.
is horrible.
I don't know what it
know. I
is.
don't
That's
know.
so disgusting.
Maybe it's because my life is so shit. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Even just the description there of what Kate was talking about,
Yeah.
Love is Blind, was making my stomach turn.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just like,
horrible.
no,
I
I
hate
don't
it.
like that.
I hate that.
I hate that concept. The
Yeah.
idea of that, like, you'll go through this whole thing, and then when you're at the altar, someone might just go, nah.
Yeah.
Even
It's just like,
so,
no, I'm good.
Ali, so Josh's wife,
Yeah.
is in chat going, that's the fucking best. I love that program. Thank you. They're great. I love them. I love them so much. I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah,
Maybe that's it.
maybe.
Maybe that is literally it.
That's it. Like my
I
life's so
sit there
shit. I
and
just
I'm
love
like,
it.
So
This is
is
class.
it what that guy just said? It's enjoyable because you can say, I'm glad it's not me.
Probably.
Yes, Ali,
That's
yes,
probably
Ali.
it,
I
yeah.
can't wait for it to start.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
UK
Sam
version.
just said, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There's like a
Right.
German word. I forgot what it's called, but people use it where I think it's only in German.
Schadenfreude.
That's the one. where it's you gain pleasure through other people's misery or like other people's pain or something.
wow.
It's something like that, and it's weird that they have a word for it, but it's kind of true. I love watching people fall over, especially kids and
I
old
love
people.
watching and old people.
I know. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. You watch an old person fall over, and it's just, oh my god, it's class. As long as they're not seriously hurt. If they're seriously hurt afterwards, you go, okay.
I feel
that
like
sucks.
a terrible mum sometimes.
But I
like
fucking love watching old people
Jensen
fall
falls
over. Yeah.
my immediate reaction is not to help him. I'm
You
laughing
laugh.
at him.
Kids falling over is
I
class.
know.
Old people falling over is class. I love it.
So like the thing with kids as well is like as long as you don't panic, they're going to be fine. They'll just get up
Yeah.
and brush it
Yeah.
off. So like if you laugh, they're
They
more
bounce
likely
back.
to be fine
It's
and just get
fine.
up.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's
They're
as
bouncy,
well.
Glenn, it's fine.
It's more of a
Old people are not bouncy.
No, they're not.
They're brittle.
Yeah, kids are bouncing, old people not.
it's similar to like it's a bit dated now, but when we were younger, like skate videos
Yes.
of people who hurt themselves in that.
Yeah.
That exact reaction of like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'll say now,
I
though,
love
I
watching-
did used to
I
like
used
the
to watch them all
program
the time.
called Scarred, which was
Oh,
basically
they were fucked up, weren't
yeah,
they?
so it would be really
Remember that.
bad bails on, rollerblades, skateboards, BMXs and stuff.
And how
then they would
fucked
go
up they
through the
were.
whole injury and show like pictures of it, and some of them were horrendous.
Grim, like
Gruesome.
absolutely. The amount of people I've watched fall off a skateboard while grinding and hit their nuts is unreal.
Yes.
It's,
That's why I went.
It's class. Yeah, I know. They hit, man. You're like, oh, your entire your balls go into your body for how bad it feels to watch it.
The
But it's
worst,
class.
the worst one of that I saw from a like graphic point of view, because they had the images when they were in hospital. There was someone on rollerblades grinding down a rail, and the rail slipped down, but the rail supports were still there, and it basically hooked just under his knee, like above here, and just ripped all the way down his leg, and then the bit was like flappy.
I thought
Basically degloved his leg.
Yeah, it was. That
I
was
thought
grim.
you were gonna say a similar thing with. Have you seen the stools that like you sit on them and they compress down?
Yes.
I've seen ones where
no.
people like jump on them and sit down,
Oh,
and
and
it
the pole
bursts
goes
through,
through?
and the
Yes.
pole comes through
I
up their
know, I've
ass.
seen that.
Yeah, it's
So-
fucking grim. It's
So
class
you know,
to watch that.
every once in a while, there's a thing that goes around the internet. Usually, it's on Reddit or it's on 4chan. But like the chairs that have like the gas assembly, like standard gamer chairs, like this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that have like the thing that you press in. There was a thing going through where like people were saying they were exploding and pressing up into their arseholes.
Oh my lord.
Mate,
All right. Before it gets too disgusting, we should move on.
mate, my
we
arsehole
should go back
puckered
to the
at that.
topic.
It clenched tight at the thought of that. Jesus.
Okay. All right.
Mate.
My immediate reaction is I want to see a video.
One last thing to add to that. There was
Okay,
just a
okay.
picture of the chair in half.
And then the person in the other half.
And
He's just on the floor like, oh my bum.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
was apparently saying that day I bought 6.
It's I don't know what it is. It's so good. I love watching cringe. You know what my dream scenario would be?
What?
To like sit in a restaurant and watch a first date tank. On like in the restaurant, like just sit there and be able to hear them and just sit there watching it fall apart. Just I don't know, maybe dream scenario is a bit much, but like it would just be so. It was just.
The
I can't even
funniest-
describe what it'd be like just to
the
sit there and
funniest,
see it just go, just bomb.
Yeah.
It would be such an interesting experience because I love people watching anyway. I love like just
I love
sitting
people
down.
watching.
It's
Having a
nice
coffee
seeing
and
people
people
go.
watch,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. You have a coffee, you watch people go about their day and everything. But like, imagine you're sitting in a restaurant with your mates, just sat there like enjoying some
yeah.
food, and you're watching this first date just tank. And everything's going. Oh god, I'd feel so
I
bad
think
for
I
them,
would.
but it would
I could
be.
only do that if it was one of my friends.
Oh,
I-
well, if
I
we
could-
had Stan on a date and
if
we're watching
Stan was
it,
like, "I'm going on a
Wow.
date, boys. Do you want to sit a few tables down?" 100%.
I'd
yes.
love to.
Yes,
We
I
should,
want to sit a
mate,
few tables down.
when he goes on a first date, we should find the restaurant and like sneak in and watch.
He's never gonna tell us.
He's shaking his head
Someone
right
was
now.
even saying that what you want is to watch Stan on a first date. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I think even Kaifa's been like,
Yeah, we've asked him
on the
before.
first day. I want to be there. I want to be there watching Stan on his first day. It'd be class. I'd love it. I'd love
Yeah.
to see how awkward he was.
Just be there. Can you imagine showing up as the waiter?
Right. The thing I can imagine here is we're all waiting for this train wreck. We're waiting for Stan to be a nervous mess, and then he just turns up and just
He's a complete Chad.
Yeah.
through. Yeah, just a Chad through the
Top
whole
Chad
thing.
Lily.
Mate,
Yeah,
I'd love it if we could watch it without him knowing that we were there. So I'd
Yeah.
love to see unfiltered Stan when he has no idea we're there. We're like sat there with like the newspapers with the eye holes watching him like, without him knowing at all. Yeah, literally just sat there. It'd be
The
class.
manual.
Yeah, I know. Ali also just said she has no idea how her and Josh are married because on their first date, he FaceTimed his mum and dad on holiday and introduced it.
Oh my lord.
Literally,
What?
first
Meet
date.
the parents on your first date.
first,
yeah.
first
First
date.
date. He's like,
Really?
like I
Fair
know,
play,
that's
that's
wild.
quite forward. That
That's
is.
That
ballsy.
is
That
ballsy.
is confident. Like I can't imagine that. I wouldn't introduce my like somebody I'm dating to my parents for like 4-5 months.
Yeah.
Until I knew he was serious, I wouldn't
Yeah.
introduce him.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't believe it.
I didn't know that. To be fair though, like Josh's parents are like people.
They are
They are
doesn't make
people.
sense.
They are
So,
100%
no, like,
people.
did you see the second thing?
you know, you say a people person, right?
Yeah.
They're good with people and like
Yeah.
communicating, right? So it would have been less awkward than I imagine some some parents, but it's still quite forward.
Yeah, it is.
She also followed that up with the second day. He told me he was a virgin. Man, how you stuck that? That's impressive. Holy
Actually,
shit!
the funny thing is introducing your parents on the first date is kind of like massive virgin energy as well, isn't it?
Mum, Dad, look! Look!
I wanted
seeing
to-
a real
I finally
girl.
did it.
I'm a man.
Third day he cried after losing his virginity.
Oh, my
Jesus
Lord.
I'd love to be able to believe that.
All right,
Josh,
I'll-
if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Should we
That
move
is
on to
done.
the next?
Yeah. Okay, right. So,
Christ.
luckily for Josh, this isn't about his dating life. This is one from online, right?
We've spoken more about Josh's dating life than we have other people's.
No.
Like from other than like more than our own.
Yeah,
There
we
go.
didn't have any stories ourselves, Ali. So it's good you've given
brilliant.
us some from Josh. All right, so I had a pretty bad tummy ache, but she was trying to get weird, so I just went along with it. As we were kissing on her bed, I let out this huge fart. We stared at each other for ages. As I was trying to apologize, I was then sick all over her bed. I ran out of her flat, which I think is a valid response to that, if that is true.
He left her to clean her all up.
Oh yeah, actually no. You gotta clean.
Yeah,
you
no,
gotta
you've
clean.
got to clean
You gotta
it up
offer
if
to
you've made
clean.
the mess. Like my first thought while you were reading that out was
Yeah.
like, if you are that unwell, if you feel that like bad,
Yeah, why would you
not
go
just
on the
be
date?
Like, hey, I feel like shit at the moment. I'm just gonna stay home because don't want to give you it.
Yeah, he could have done the
True.
fable blasting
Huge
out both
fart and
ends
then
though.
staring at each other.
He could have been
That's
having
funny.
sex. He could have ejaculated and projectile
The
shit
freeway.
everywhere.
Oh, that's
like,
disgusting.
and mate, that would have been unreal. Oh my
Freeway
God.
orgasm where it's vomiting, ejaculating, and shitting at the same time.
That would be horrendous. Sorry for anyone who's eating.
I don't think we.
Yeah, don't eat.
I don't think we did, Ali. But what were you saying? Sorry, Kate. I thought you said something about farting.
Oh, that is the most last awkward, and then staring at each other for an hour.
Wait, was there an hour?
No, I just said
Or for
ages.
ages.
But as in,
And
like,
then,
they obviously were probably just both in that moment of like, has this really just happened?
I don't know. Sometimes a
that's
minute
fucking
can feel like an hour.
hilarious. Yeah.
It could have. It
Yeah.
could have been
Yeah.
30 seconds. Like it could have literally been 30 seconds. But I don't know. Would you have preferred? Say you're on a date with somebody.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred? And that first two happens. He farts right in front of you while you're talking. Would you have preferred him throwing up or shitting himself?
Throwing up.
I wouldn't. I'd rather him shit himself. He keeps her in his pants.
Because most of it.
It's not on
stays
my
in
bed. It's on his
trousers.
pants.
Yeah.
He leaves with his shitty pants. It's not on my
I
bed.
prefer the second one.
Although, devil's avocado.
Devil's avocado.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on, carry on.
Basically, Matey Boy's obviously got the runs. It's going to be coming through.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I see. Ali said throwing up. I prefer throwing up over the shit myself.
I'd rather them do it than run out because I don't have to deal with it then.
No.
Although
what
I'd
if he
still
leaks
have to
poo
clean
all over
up.
the fucking
Yeah, I'd
floor?
still have to
like,
clean.
Yeah.
I
And
still have
Nah.
to
if they
make
were
sure it was all
already
clean
like
up.
in bed, they might have been not have clothes on anyway.
That's
So
fair.
that could literally
Oh.
diarrhea
Yeah,
all
that's
over your
even-
bed,
that's a
all
very good
everywhere,
point.
which
man.
is disgusting. Yeah,
I don't know.
Nah.
Like, yeah, probably. If someone
I'd
throws up
feel
in front of
more
me, I
sorry
throw
if
up
he was
though.
sick. I'd be like, oh, mate, you okay? Like, rather than shit. I'm like, ew, get away from me, you fucking minger. Like, who shits himself on the first
If somebody
date? I'm
shat
sorry.
themselves on my bed, I'd burn the bed. I'd literally throw it out my window, set fire to it, and order a new fucking mattress. I couldn't
But
deal
I
with
think,
it.
to be
Send me
fair,
invoice.
what Samuel said in the first place, if you're that bad, like, why are you going
You
on
just stay home.
the date
Yeah,
or have
exactly.
that
You-
moment?
Chance
Unless
to
it's
get in your
someone.
underwear, innit?
Pardon?
Chance of getting your underwear, innit?
Nah, come on. This is not worth the risk. As they paid off, like.
Being an adult now,
Yeah.
100% isn't. I'd be like, look, I ain't fucking dealing with that. Like, because
So what
I'd be
you're saying,
mortified.
back when you were like 19,
Oh,
you
mate,
would have risked
I
it.
would have definitely. Mate, are you
Yeah.
joking? Someone's like, "Oh, let's get free." I even if I was in the middle of an operation, I'd fucking leave the hospital to go. I was a desperate boy back then. Like,
Yeah, to be fair,
Now-
those
nah, not so
ages, you
that
kind
was
of,
almost 12
you do
years ago
silly
when I was
things.
19. Huh?
you do silly things at
Yeah.
around those ages.
Yeah, you do.
It's yeah, it's bad, but I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It is fucking hilarious that he threw up in the flat and ran.
Yeah.
Like, this is your problem now. I'm leaving.
I'll let
Like,
him know the
Jesus.
story after we finish this section, Ali. I don't come out of it looking good, but I'll let everyone know after.
God,
Nice.
I'm looking forward to
Okay.
this.
I think running is, that's, I don't know.
That's bad.
It's bad. If it was literally I've been sick and you bolted straight away, it's terrible. You got to at least offer to like clean up or something. And
Yeah.
apologize. Okay. All right. The next one is pretty quick, but I was at a restaurant. She was on her phone swiping through other dating apps, which I think is just, why would you go on the date?
Maybe it's because they didn't think they were on a date. Maybe they didn't think they were on a date.
Oh,
even
going back to our other
True,
one.
Yeah.
but
That
even if you
honestly-
just sat with a friend one to one, isn't it weird to like flick through?
I think
Is
the
it
key,
like
I think
Tinder
the
or
key
something?
part is saying
Yeah, it is
other
rough.
dating apps. I think that
yeah,
they're probably on a date if they're saying
Yeah.
they're flicking through other dating apps.
Yeah.
Because they probably met through a dating app.
it sounds like
Just
this
by-
person is just a shitty person.
Yeah, I don't
All
know.
that.
It reminds me of, I can't remember, I think it's called Celebs Go Dating.
Yeah,
It was a program that was called that. And it reminds me of one in particular where one of the celebrities was on a date and he was a cunt. He was such an asshole.
Yeah.
But like, he was on a date and he's like, "Oh, I'm not feeling it." But it didn't say it to her. But was like, "Oh, I'm just going to go to the toilet." Took his jacket and everything. And got to the front door and was like, "I'm leaving." And he was like, "I'll write her a note." And I think he wrote, if I remember rightly, he wrote like, "Left the chicken in the oven, thanks, bye." And then gave it to the waiter to give it to that leave. And he was an awful person. There you go. Glenn should say what he did to Ali
Oh,
the other
okay,
day.
right. I might as well just say it now then, since right. So I went home to get my hair cut the other day,
Yeah.
and basically finished my haircut, headphones in, and I walked back to the bus stop, wait for the bus. So the bus just left, and Josh messaged me, and he was like, "Are you home?" So basically, where I get my haircut is near where Josh stays now,
Yeah.
and I was like, "How does he know? Like, what's going on?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm home." And he was like, "Oh, you just walked past Ali and ignored her. She was with the kids and she needed help carrying like shopping and stuff." And I was like, "There's not a chance in the world. Like, not a chance. There's no way that I walked past her or I saw her or whatever. Just not a chance." And then he was like, "Oh, you got your black hoodie on?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You wear an Under Armour bag?" So I took my bag off my back, took a picture of it, sent it to Josh, and it's the Under Armour bag that he was on about. So I've been, what did he reply to me? You've been profiled, as if like it was definitely you. And then the worst part was, I knew I had missed the bus,
Yeah.
so I waited at the bus stop for half an hour, just chilling. So I could have literally taken all the shopping off Ali and walked to their house with it, dropped it off, and still caught the same bus. But like, I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't see it, and I still don't have any vision of being like, oh, that's Ali. But
Wow.
apparently, Ali.
Did you look at her?
I don't think I did, but I don't know. Like maybe I did. I didn't. She definitely saw me because
Waved and
every piece of
everything.
clothing I was
Wait,
wearing.
she waved
they
at you.
knew.
You ignored her, struggling with them. Oh, my
my
god!
So like
God.
I don't know. So I had music in. So so if Ali shouted, I wouldn't have heard. 100% wouldn't have heard it. But I don't know. So yeah, I
You
felt
dinged
awful
it.
on the way
I can't
back.
believe you done that.
That's brutal. That is.
Well, I obviously
Just-
didn't do it on purpose. I have no
Just get on with
image
it.
in my head of going, yes, that's Ali.
I think
Even
that-
without
I
it
think
being
that's
Ali,
email
you
then,
see a
sorry.
woman struggle on the side of the road with
Yeah,
everything.
but I have
You know,
no.
like-
I, literally, I replied to Josh saying I didn't see anyone on the walk. Like I don't recall seeing another human from the hairdresser to the bus stop.
That's
You must have
mental.
blanked out
See-
then.
To the point where I thought Josh was like, it must have been someone else. But then obviously when Ali replied with all the clothes I had on, I was like, oh, well, obviously Ali was there. Or somebody was there because they knew what I was wearing. Like,
Mate, if I was on the side of the road struggling like fuck with carrying something, really, really struggling,
Yeah.
and I saw Glenn, I waved at him, and he blanked me and fucked off, I wouldn't speak to him for like 3 weeks.
the way so Ali's just replied basically saying, it felt like I went, oh, look this, Ali. Nah. And I just walked off.
So
That is
I've got two
horrendous.
things. I've
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
two things. One, like I can understand what you did, so I do it a lot as well when I'm like going somewhere and I need to get there and I've got like headphones in. I'll disassociate. I won't see anyone. Someone could wave at me. I won't see it.
Yeah.
So like I get what you're talking about. But once you became aware of it, why didn't you go and help?
No, I was already on the bus at this point.
Oh right.
But
Okay.
bye.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that.
On the bus.
On the bus going past, see ya, bye.
She said that you were waiting for
Yeah.
like half an hour. It's like, why didn't you then go and help when Josh messaged you?
To be
No.
fair,
So I was on the bus when I got the message.
Right, okay.
Glenn looking at his phone is a rarity. Like, we've known this for as long as we've known him.
It's gone.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll change the
Oh,
plug
my
socket to
camera's
say-
gone.
Sam.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to
it
carry
keeps
on speaking
happening.
anyway. But,
It
like,
can't be true. What do you mean, Ali?
what I was saying, Glenn looking at his phone is an absolute rarity. If you call him 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, he'll never answer. It's very. He rang me the other day. Today, actually, he rang me today, and I genuinely, I looked at it for about a minute, being like,
Right, one sec.
Is something wrong with my
While
phone?
Sam's talking, I'll try and fix the other
I was
camera.
like, is something wrong with my phone? Because there's no way in hell Glenn is calling me. And then I eventually answered and was like, hello? And he spoke, and I went, oh, fucking hell, his phone works.
I don't know if I'm
More chance of someone
misremembering-
stealing his phone and
I
calling.
don't know if I'm misremembering this, but
Yeah.
But Glenn, when Johanna and Marlon was still here, and well, I was Kaif, and we came to pick up you and Claire.
Yeah.
He tried to call you. You didn't pick up that, did you?
My phone is always on silent.
Do you want to know the worst
but
thing,
then he
Stan?
called us.
Do you want to know the worst
So-
thing? I had Marlon and Johanna in my car,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm going to call Glenn, see if he needs a lift. I called him. Kaif called him. Dale called him. All at the same, like around the same time to try and get in touch with him to see if he needed a lift, and he ignored everybody.
He then called Kaif, and we picked them up. But it just
My phone's always on silent.
it's just.
I mean, like-
Unless, if the only time I answer my phone is if I'm looking at it and someone calls me.
Mental.
Yeah, like, which defeats the purpose of a fucking phone.
Also, Ali, I don't know if you can still hear me, but I go to the other bus stop because it's where my parents stay. That's why I walk past the one. That
I might have a problem, but like my phone's always in eyesight. So if somebody's calling me, most of the time, unless it's Ebbs, because for some reason, whenever Ebbs calls me, I don't pick up. But 9 times out of 10, I will always see the call, and I will either pick it up or reply straight away.
I have mine on silent, but I let it, like I have it on vibrate, so like I will know if someone's calling.
Yeah,
Oh, it's gone again.
Is it gone straight away?
I think it's gone straight away.
fucking hell. Our cameras are shit at the moment. Sorry, boys. But they're yeah.
A lot of
It's
technical
something to do with the
difficulties today.
power. Plug in different plugs. This one's
So
just
our
nice.
electric in this fucking place is atrocious. We can plug. We've had it before. We've had a camera plugged into one plug, and it's died. So we take it out and plug it literally next door in the same outlet, and it works fine, perfectly.
Well, the thing Glenn did today, the plugs that we were working with didn't work. So he plugged it in the plugs that didn't work.
Didn't work last time, and then it
Didn't, yeah. So the ones that were working last week, fine. It's because we swapped them from the ones that weren't working. Now we put them in the ones that weren't working,
Yeah.
and then they're working.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
2 seconds.
That's good. Go. So Ali just said that she lets the phone ring out. She sees the call, lets it ring out, and then texts them afterwards to be like, "Oh, what do you want?"
Oh, hang on.
I sometimes do that, where I'm like, I'll see the call, and if I'm not in the mood
Not
to
in the mood
speak,
to talk to somebody.
I'll just
yeah.
let it ring out, and then I'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I missed your call. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?" So I'd rather text over talk sometimes.
Hey.
Hopefully it stays.
Mate, you're gonna sit down, it's gonna go off again.
I know, bro. Like, so far the only solution we found is change power outlets, and
Until it works.
hopefully it works.
I know, Ali. I haven't seen you in ages too.
I used to like one of the things with my ringtones
Yeah.
is I used to have them loud because so I could hear everything that was happening. But then the notification sounds, even like when I change them to something else, I quite like hearing it. But it gets to a point where I'm like, fuck off. Stop going off. And then I'll mute it, and then sometime down the line I'll change it and be like, oh, that's nice. And then I'll quickly fall into and I'll
Yeah.
just recycle it. I'm at the point now where I'm annoyed at my notification tone, so I just don't bother. It's the same with Discord. You know the pings on it? Can't stand it.
Oh, that drives me nuts. I
I'm
put in
always
streamer mode sometimes.
all the time
Yeah.
streamer mode, so I don't have to hear any of it. But I went through a period of like recently actually where I turned it off, and I was like, oh, this is actually quite nice. I can actually hear when things
And then
are
you
happening.
miss stuff. You're like, fuck. And then you have to put it
Nah, I the notifications go off, and I'm like, fuck off. I turn back to streamer mode, so I don't have to hear
So
it.
to be fair, about it's probably like 2-3 years ago now. Josh did tell me that you can make your phone so it only makes sound when someone rings, and it doesn't make sound elsewhere.
That's
apparently.
interesting.
So I did say I'll sort that out one day, but it's been a couple of years now.
I mean,
I'll
you're
probably
still
try
the
it.
person who calls through WhatsApp instead of normal phone calls.
Yeah, but it's just better.
Do you know what Rob does? And it drives me nuts. He doesn't
What?
save people's numbers.
Oh,
No
okay.
way.
Wow. Why not?
Does he
Doesn't
not?
save people's numbers. So then he'll go through his call list, like, oh, I think that was so and so.
That boy's an anomaly, honestly.
WhatsApp calling's good though. I know everyone else hates it, but
It's okay. It
can't
it was
stand
all
it.
right earlier, but it's like there's times where I'll be speaking to Glenn and I'll say something, think he's disappeared. So I'm like, Glenn, and then halfway through me saying that, he's replied to what I was saying, just because of the delay
Yeah.
in it.
right. The reason WhatsApp calling is better is because if I call Sam and he's in America, don't matter, does it?
I
It's
mean,
internet, so it's the same.
depending on
price.
phone plans, it doesn't matter.
How
I
often?
mean, if calling America is expensive.
How often does that happen, Glenn?
Pardon?
How often does that happen?
Well, when Claire used to live in Singapore,
Ah,
every
that's-
single
that
day.
makes-
Mr. Worldwide over
So
here.
that's the
calling
habit
all
I
over the
got
place.
into.
I won't
Mr.
lie.
Worldwide.
That's the habit it comes from. It's,
I won't like the Claire example. Completely fair. The
Yeah.
Sam example. Nah.
he might go off, you know.
Mate, I was
Weekend
sat in
trip.
my house. We live like 20 minutes apart, 30 minutes apart. Like, I'm not in America.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah,
fuck
that's
a
the
pit
reason.
bull, Mr. Worldwide here. Calling all over the place. You.
Well, one
You're like,
place.
oh yeah, calling in America one time, then like, come on, who you
No, but
calling in
it
America?
doesn't matter, does it? No matter where you are, where someone else is. What's it?
Kai
Oh,
said,
okay, it's
yeah.
laggy. But to be fair, we do have absolutely
See exactly what I
terrible
said.
internet connection on phones in the UK. It's actually unreal.
In
Some
Wales, you
place.
do.
Sometimes
Yeah.
It's so
it
bad.
depends. Yeah, so why the fuck would you rely on it instead
But
of
then-
just normal calls?
Because normally the people I speak to are like not in those places.
The
if that makes
difference is
sense.
though, Claire lives here.
Yeah, now.
You live with her.
But I've
Swap to
spent
calls.
years calling on WhatsApp, and it's just ingrained. And then, like, you know,
It's
if you
what you
message
like
someone,
and what
actually,
you
I need to
know.
call them. Just call, you know, job
Spent
done.
years brushing my teeth with rocks. How can I change to something else? Like, what the fuck?
But yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next awkward dating moment. Right.
Oh, this is the one I
Right.
like.
So, someone asked me for a nude, and I didn't want to send it
Who's
to
that
him,
from?
right? So, well, no, it's his personal internet, right? So I sent them a zoomed-in picture of Gordon Ramsay's forehead wrinkles and said to them it was my cleavage.
Cleaverage.
Cleavage.
Leverage.
Cleaverage.
Hang on, an old man. Calling me WhatsApp doesn't make you an old man.
It does.
No, it doesn't. That's dumb.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Anyway.
it's not calling on WhatsApp that makes you an old man. It's the fact that you're set in your ways and don't want to
Well,
change.
no, it wasn't.
is what makes
Right,
you an
let's
old
drop
man.
out. It's a better way to do it. Right.
And that makes it worse.
Okay. Embracing better technology does not make you an old man. Anyway, right. I got to go back to the start now. Right. Someone wanted a nude. I
can't
sent them a
wait to-
picture of Gordon Ramsay's forehead wrinkles and said it was my cleavage.
Hey, he said it right.
They then replied to me a video of them beating their meat. So basically, the person is mortified knowing that someone out there beat their
It's like
meat to a picture of
sending
Gordon
a
Ramsay's
picture.
forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ramsay's
when you do
forehead.
that, and you're like, hey, it's my bum.
So I thought that one was quite funny.
That's the one I read earlier and
Yeah.
laughed because I was like, that's class.
I
Can you imagine? You
the
fucking
term being your meat just makes me laugh.
you
Anyway.
send them
Yeah.
a forehead wrinkle of Gordon Ramsay and like,
And they're
oh,
like,
here's a bit
"Oh,
of cleavage.
yeah."
That's a drastic like
That's a long
reply.
cleavage.
Yeah.
Like you send a cleavage picture, not even boobs, not even ass, not even pussy, none of that. You send a cleavage, and their instant go-to is me
Full on.
fucking coming. Like,
Yeah, hang on.
holy shit!
Also,
Not even like, oh, it's a bit of ab, bit of
it is
testicle or
definitely
something like
multiple
that.
steps up. But right, if they hadn't spoken about like dick
There's
pics
no
previously,
foreplay in that.
that's
None.
like that's wrong.
Literally
like, you
none.
shouldn't do that.
Oh my god,
Like,
it's like
that is-
shaking
that
hands
is
and they're
wrong,
like
like.
jizz. Like it's fucking unreal.
Like there isn't any more context to that. So maybe in the past they've talked about dick pics and they've sent them, but if they haven't, that's wrong. And it's just like you just can't do that. Like.
I mean, there is a
Just
lot of
straight
people.
I like their
Beating it.
comment.
What?
How pent up do you have to be to jerk off to a cleavage?
Yeah.
That is true.
That's virgin energy.
It's
though.
fucking wild, honestly. That's fucking wild. Oh god. I mean, there's a lot of people who do just like send dick pics out to
I
people
don't want a dick
really
pic.
fast.
Like,
and I
fuck
don't
off.
understand
They're
why, because
Yeah.
it's literally a fucking like sausage with a bit more skin on it. Like like I just don't understand how like there's nothing attractive about a cock.
there isn't.
Yeah.
They're ugly.
There's
I'm
like
sorry,
no
like-
way to make
Rob
that
used to send me
appealing.
them all the time, and you're like, "Fuck off, another one." Why?
Of course, Rob did.
Did he dress her up like an elephant?
Oh,
He put a little
Rob.
sombrero
When
on
we
it.
were first dating,
Yeah, that
this was
as well.
years ago. Like,
Oh my
I
god.
feel like you've really just dropped Rob in it.
Did he, as Samuel said, did he put a little sombrero on it so the dick was like a nose? That'd be class. Dicks and me. I don't know. They're weird. I mean, the only person I've said say something different was when we were on the podcast and Eb sat there describing how Kaif had a beautiful penis, and that's the only time I've heard somebody talk good about him.
But
Any other time, it's just like it's a fucking little weenie that.
true, Ali. True.
That gets milked every now and then. Like it's not. There's nothing particularly attractive about it.
no.
But I mean,
Alright.
people. There's. Oh, here's the thing.
Yeah.
As we're going on about attractiveness of body parts,
Yeah.
what do you think about feet?
Hate them.
I know I'm not
Indifferent.
interested. I don't like feet at all. But like, what do you think about them? Because there was a character for League that had their splash art released, and their feet were like quite not prominent, but like were in it, and people were going mad over how these feet were there and how angry they were that they were feeding into this kink. And me and Dale sat there going, I don't see it. I'm not interested. I'm just like, it's just feet. I'm not bothered. But Stan obviously has something to say about it because I thought he would.
I saw the splash art and I was
Yeah.
like, that's a neat champion. That looks cool. And then I bring it up to other people and like, the feet. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What?
I know.
What's the feet about?
We sat there with Matt talking to him, and he's like, it's really weird because they've got their feet front and center, and it's just feeding into this kink. And we're like, are you into feet, man? He's like, no, I hate feet.
He
but
definitely
she's got like these beautiful feet, and we're like, did you just call the feet beautiful? And you say you're not into feet? And he was being really like thing about it, and we're like, huh? Like, what's going on? So I thought I'd ask for opinions on whether or not, because I don't understand it. They get me from point A to point B. I don't get it. It's the same with armpits. Have you seen people who censor out their armpits now when they take pictures? Because people will sit there jacking
I
off
haven't
of
seen
their
that
armpit.
one.
There's like
But-
women who are like cosplaying. They're like doing this, and they'll have a sensor there, like to cover up the armpits.
I feel like they've had a bad
I didn't even know that was
experience
a
once or
kid, like-
twice.
Yeah,
with
probably.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at that point, I can't blame them for it. It's the degenerates out there.
People jack off over armpits and feet, so no wonder you jack off over forehead wrinkles of Gordon Ramsay. Like, well, it's
Maybe he
fucking
really
wild.
likes forehead wrinkles.
Maybe.
Maybe they're really just charged for him.
It's
Charged.
fucking wild. Wasn't Glenn into Bigfoot?
He has a weird obsession with Bigfoot. It's true, but I'm not sure it's about his
Understandable.
feet.
Glenn likes hairy men.
The obsession is simple, right?
Yeah.
We played the game.
Go on.
It was fun. The videos get views. The stream gets views. Good. Let's do it again. Second time, same thing happens. Third time, same thing. Do it again. That's purely it.
So he's not into
The game was
Bigfoot.
fun,
for the numbers.
and
It's
people
not
want to watch
Bigfoot
it.
he's
Therefore,
into.
I want to play
He's
the game.
into seeing numbers
It's
go
money.
up. It's math.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's okay, Glenn. We won't tell anybody about your sordid love affair with Bigfoot.
What's the next story?
Right. So the next one is not
Wait,
as
that's
crude
so
at all.
Oh,
Weird
it's
word.
Right. So basically,
longer one.
I went on a date to the movies, right? We hadn't pre-booked any tickets. So once we got there and we went to book the tickets, the only two seats left were on either sides of the cinema. Right. So we went in, we sat opposite ends, we watched the movie, we couldn't talk. At the end, we basically said, "All right, cheers," and then left. So that was the date. They basically didn't talk.
That's rough.
Other than maybe at the start when they had the awkward moment of realizing they couldn't
So-
even sit next to each other.
I'm guessing they went to cinema, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then why didn't they just watch another film and make other plans if they couldn't sit next to each other?
That would be the logical thing to
Yeah,
do.
that would be logical.
What do you
Yeah.
think of cinema dates?
I don't like them. I think they're trash. Because if you want to hang out with someone, you shouldn't do this in a thing where you're obligated to be quiet.
It's a
Yeah.
bit of a weird one. I think because people say the exact same as you, where they say they don't like them because you can't talk, you can't do this, you can't do the other. But I think while they're not the best, I think they're a good introduction into doing something
Yeah.
else afterwards.
I'd always,
like-
it'd
Yeah.
always be cinema and food. That
Yeah.
would be it. Yeah.
If you were
Yeah.
gonna do that, going to watch a film with somebody and then go for
and then
some
you could talk
food.
about the film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice icebreaker,
Yeah.
but it's obviously
Yeah.
not for everybody. But going to see just a film and that's it is kind of weird because you sit there, you have a little chat, you're like, oh yeah, this film's gonna be good. Yeah. Oh look, there's trailers, and then you say nothing for 2 hours.
Apart from
Like,
the mention of snacks.
yeah,
And then,
exactly.
yeah.
It's a strange one. It really
yeah,
is.
Dragon. Cinema should only be part of the date. Yeah, I
Exactly.
agree.
Yeah, like with food after, it's actually a date. With it,
Yeah.
with it just being the cinema, you're just sitting in silence with the presence of this person. That's not a date.
With loads of other people sat around. you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Are
too.
you, are you on the date with the whole people in the cinema?
Well, that's why that one's quite
Maybe.
interesting, where they didn't essentially even have the date, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you think, even if they committed to the one they did and they sat opposite ends, you think after it they'd be like, "Oh, we didn't really get to talk or hang out there. So do you want to go for food or do you want to grab a drink?"
Yeah, let's
or...
go grab a bite and stuff like that.
Unless each one of them was like, "Oh, why didn't she book the tickets?" And then he's like, "Oh, why? She's like, oh, why didn't he book the tickets?" And they both blame each other. But I think as simple as just going to see another film or doing something
Yeah.
else. is
It's a
easy.
fucking weird, isn't it?
Right, Sam, will you read the next one because it's a bit long.
Sure, Glenn's dyslexia is kicking in, so I'll read this one. So this next one is he barely let me have a word a whole time. In the whole time, it says. Oh, that's
Who's
weird.
dyslexic now, bro?
And me apparently. So on the date, he crapped on about an MMORPG I'd never played for a full 2 hours. Now, don't get me wrong, talking about gaming is interesting, but when someone goes into minute detail about aspects of a game you've literally just heard exists, excitement and enthusiasm can wane after the first hour. Which I'm kind of impressed they spoke for, like, how the fuck do you let that go on for an hour without interrupting it first?
Yeah.
He had the worst fucking hay fever, but wouldn't take any antihistamine. So he ended up snotting everywhere and spitting on the floor. That's
No,
disgusting.
that's an ick.
People spitting on the floor is gross.
I hate people spitting. Like if I see someone spit, I'm like, That's disgusting. I literally call them out because
You know,
I hate it.
you know
so
the one
much.
that I find gross when they like snort it first
Oh,
like-
yeah.
and then spit. Oh, it turns my
So when
stomach.
Lemon
footballers
up
do it
first.
on the pitch,
It's
it's
fucking
minging.
grim. It's actually disgusting. The icing on the cake, he thought it apt to bring up the subject of STDs, namely which were the most prevalent in our neck of the woods, and which ones had no symptoms. I bailed pretty fast at this point. Truth be told, I only stayed as long as I did because I was genuinely shocked at how terrible the date was and wanted to see if it could get any worse. Could you imagine that? Sitting on a date with somebody you've
Good
just
God.
met and they're talking about STDs that are popular where you live and how they have no symptoms. That's a fucking...
flag.
That's
Yeah.
a warning light flashing immediately. That's I've got STDs like right there. That's insane.
That's wrong.
Sorry.
Advice, that is.
Definitely gonna get that out of context.
I knew you were
later.
gonna.
I'm sorry,
I knew
like,
you were
not
gonna do
saying
that. I did that and immediately was like, "That's gonna be clipped out of context."
Shouldn't have done that.
No,
Yeah,
I should not have done it at all. Oh Christ!
See, the thing with that one though is, at least the talking about the game, right?
Yeah,
If they're talking the entire time and the other person isn't like saying anything back, maybe I don't know. The other person's like, "Oh, they're not letting me get a word in." They might have just thought they were finding it interesting.
yeah.
Like, you know?
Because there is certain times where I can sit there and listen to somebody, like with Stan with the space episode we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like when he's talking about it, I could literally just sit there and listen for ages. Because when somebody's talking about something they're really passionate about, I find it really interesting. Even
Yeah.
if I don't give a fuck about it. They could be talking about, I don't know, the hygiene methods of porn stars for their buttholes. I don't care. But if they're that passionate about it and they're telling me all these facts and everything like that, I'd be invested. And I'd be listening it along the entire time. I'd think it'd be really, I'd be like, okay, cool. I think this person should have probably nipped her in the bud sooner and kind of just been like, look, I'm not that interested. Can we change topic? Instead of letting them talk for 2 hours.
Yeah, I guess the other thing, it is really simple to just stop yourself and be like, "Oh, what about you? Like, how's your day or whatever?"
Because
Like-
I don't think we've been streaming for an hour yet.
Just about.
Just
It's-
about an
it's
hour.
Just under,
approaching.
yeah.
Imagine
hour.
this entire hour. It was just me talking about a game none of you have heard of. At some point, somebody would interrupt and go,
Mate,
"Let's
shut the fuck
Shut
up.
the
yeah,
fuck up,
shut
bro."
up. Let's forward."
Yeah.
Especially if you're not interested.
Yeah.
That's
True.
completely on their fault. The rest of it, okay. Actually, the hay fever's a bit rough. That they had hay fever and okay, it's kind of rough. But then how they described
The
it about
STD bit's
snorting
weird.
everywhere and
The
spitting,
STD
that
is
is fucking
definitely weird.
grim.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home now before I get
Yeah.
taken into the backwoods by a serial killer.
Mate, people snort in places. Like, just snort. It makes me feel sick. You know, like when
It's-
kids have it all.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to punch him. I'm just like, clean
And they
yourself up.
slap his nose.
Fucking grim. I can't stand it. Even with adults as well, it's just fucking gross.
You want to punch kids?
Yeah. Do you ever see those? This is completely random. Do you ever see those things
least
where
you-
it's like, would you punch this kid for £1 million?
Yeah.
And it's got a picture of a really innocent kid. Every single time it comes to one of them, I'm like,
Yes.
that kid wouldn't see sunlight
I'll
ever
do it for
again.
50p.
That'd be mate. It's
Sam, it says punch them, not kill them.
I'm earning that money. I ain't getting any loopholes in this. I'm getting my fucking money.
I'm giving it the full send.
It's I can't even with people. If it's all, it just makes me feel so sick, and I don't get why. If somebody was snorting on a day, I'd heave and leave immediately. I wouldn't even say bye.
Nice.
I'd quite literally be like, I'm fucking going bye. Nah, sorry.
So we've got Dale punches homeless people and Sam punches kids. I think that's a good duo.
Mate, somebody's gonna rue the
I'd take to be
day.
a homeless kid.
One way meets a homeless kid.
Do you remember was it Flyman and Aqualad? Or
Yeah.
You go back
Yeah.
to them and that's their powers. Like,
Yeah, boy. That was class.
okay, can you see the file? Or
The what?
are the words too small?
He wants you to read the next bit.
I want to read the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you read it?
I'll probably need to scroll up a sec. Hang on. There you go. The
Yes,
first date
just
halfway through.
Okay.
Just before,
Yeah.
talking about STDs at all, like on the first few dates, is
That's
is
a
grim.
massive red
It's
flag.
very weird.
Yeah.
Like, you would trust that the other person is fully tested and all clean and everything. You don't have to ask. Bringing her up is a very strange thing to do.
I'm immediately thinking you're a mingo, mate. Yeah.
Fucking knob full of cheese. Like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, next one. Kate, go on.
Okay, so halfway through the first date, she mentioned that her boyfriend, who I was unaware of, asked if he knows that she's on a date with me. And she says, oh, it's cool. He's in Iraq right now, so he doesn't know or care. Then tries to change the subject. I turned the car around and took her home. A very awkward drive back. She said, wait, where are we going? Why are you taking me back? Who are you to judge me? We are basically broken up. I just haven't told him yet, etc., etc.
Oh, that's
it. So that's yeah. But I think it's good the guy did that though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the good on the guy, but absolute like inveterate asshole.
That is
Yeah.
horrendous.
Yeah, that's
Oh, Christ. I don't get it.
that ain't cringe. That's just
It's just
bad.
sad, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
really
that is just
despicable.
bad.
Yeah.
That is fucking horrendous. I don't get it at all. How
All
people
right.
can do that.
Let's change the mood quickly and you read the last one, Sam. This is the final one.
I read this already
Okay,
and I
go
was
on then.
giggling. There was a guy who was telling me he was going to destroy my butthole. I went to the restroom and dipped. For all I know, the fuckboy is still sitting at Legends waiting for me to come back. Mate, the confidence. Like, I'm going to destroy
That's
your
an outrageous
asshole.
thing to say.
That's
on a date.
insane.
Can you imagine just saying that on a first date? I'm gonna destroy your ass.
That's just
Like-
not okay. Like,
I'm like,
The only time I could
"Excuse me?"
ever think it was even remotely okay to say it is if they're eating something like really spicy and I've known them for ages and you're like, well, I've been dating them for ages and I'd be like, that's not the only thing that's going to destroy your ass tonight.
but even still on a first date, that's
Exactly.
pretty
That's
outrageous.
why I said if I've
yeah.
been dating them for ages,
You have
that'd be
got to
fine.
know.
Yeah.
First day, that's
Yeah,
outrageous.
but you've got to know that person you're saying it to do like shares your sense of
Intensely well.
humor.
Yeah.
And
Right?
they use the word fuckboy. That is definitely what he is, a fuckboy.
Yeah,
No.
That's
that
funny
one's-
though.
That one's
That is bad.
that one's bad. All right.
They did the whole nip to the toilet and then just leave thing though. So impressed. Oh
Well,
god.
no, we can.
No, what is this?
So these are like famous Tinder posts.
Scroll down on Reddit.
But
What's
I'll,
the fucking Mike Tyson? Hold on, I
Oh,
want to
mate,
read that.
if you're up, right.
Yeah,
Hang on,
okay.
hang on. Right. This is from Tinder. No, oh, you've read it already.
Yeah.
Right. Sam, you be the blue one. Kate, you be the other one.
Oh god, okay.
Okay, this is
So
a
this
conversation.
is a conversation between two people on Tinder. Okay.
So, how often do people? Oh, okay, so the person's called Faith that
Yeah.
they're talking to. So I'm playing the part of the person who's sending the
Yeah, and
messages.
Kate is
Kate's the
Faith.
one
I'm
who's
Faith, okay.
yeah, Faith. So, how often do people do wordplay with your name?
A lot.
Ha, I knew it. What's like the top 3? I want to try and beat it.
Oh god, let me look. Hang on. 1, I think I need a little faith in my life. 2, I didn't believe in faith till now. And 3, will you be my faith? I don't have any.
So the guy's written in asterisks, Mike Tyson voice. Will you let me rub my balls across your faith?
Are you gonna try and do the accent?
I don't even know what he sounds like.
know.
I can't even picture it.
He just basically has a very strong lisp.
Yeah, that one's
Will you,
bad.
will you
That
let me
one's-
rub my mouth across your face?
Okay. All right, we'll do one more of these and then we'll do
Go on,
the.
Glenn and Stan read these.
I can't read it.
Oh,
Okay, you can't see it, can you?
The angle on my glasses. are bad.
okay.
All right, I'll
mean,
do the.
me and
You
Glenn
do the
could
blue
read
one,
Go on.
Sam.
Go on. You do.
Nah.
Samuel do the blue one. Glenn does the grey one.
Okay, I don't. Can you see it, Samuel?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I don't really like beards.
Lamau, why would you swipe on me then?
You can always shave it, you know.
Lamau, I won't though. The beard stays.
You won't shave for me, cute face.
Lamau, no, I won't.
Why not? I don't like guys with beards.
Lamau sucks to suck then. I'm not shaving it for you.
I guess you'll have to miss out on me then tomorrow night, winky face.
And this is in quotations. Those who would shave the beard for pussy deserve neither the beard nor the pussy. Ben Franklin, probably.
I thought that one was quite cool.
That's wild. Jesus Christ.
This one I thought is just brutal, right?
Oh, that's rough.
Fuck.
All right, Sam, you be the blue one, right?
Okay.
Okay, height question mark. There's a height restriction for this ride.
Surely you must know that you're nowhere near attractive enough to make those demands, right? And that's it. There's literally
savage,
start of conversation, end of conversation right there. Oh, Christ. Man, these are fucking brutal.
That one is brutal. That
one is actually brutal.
Like, they're both brutal though, right? I mean, the whole thing of just being like, there's a minimum height to even talk to me is bad, like, you know?
That's quite a common thing.
Also, so Ali's just replied, basically asking Josh if she can come on the podcast. Just keep asking him, Ali. You'll say yes eventually.
Ask him if you were allowed. Oh my God, there'd be a time we'll just bring both of them
That would be
and
class.
have them both on together.
And it turns into marriage counselling.
Maybe it's got to be that, Ali. You got to say that you'll go on together. Then, I don't know, maybe you'll say yes. I don't know.
Oh my God, we'd hear some interesting stories there.
No privacy left whatsoever.
Is this one? No, okay. That one's not as good. Oh, okay. Do you want to do this one? Sam and Kate?
What about me and you?
Go on then.
You
I'll
too.
be...
Which one do you want to be?
Right. Since you shared your Batman story, I once had dreams of being a Powerpuff Girl.
You actually, Glenn. That's
did,
cute.
yeah.
So, were you made from sugar, spice, and everything nice?
No. If that line works on... Oh, I fucked it already. If that line works for you, you should question why.
Oh, it's from the intro to Powerpuff Girls. It's not a pickup line, lol.
Yeah,
That's fucking stupid.
That's stupid on
like,
the first
that's
person.
wild.
Although I'm stupid because I couldn't read it right. Okay. What? Last one. This one is good.
This is a good one. I like this.
All right. Sam, top or bottom?
Middle, sometimes jungle. That's a League of Legends joke.
So I think this one, the title was something along the lines of when you're really shy, love League of Legends, and you've gone over it. Yeah.
I bet the girl's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Christ.
Okay, right. Let me scroll up a sec.
We'll have to see if we can, at some point, get a screen thing for what we're looking at so they can show up on the podcast at some point.
Okay. Oh, I mean, this one ties in with dating, so we should try this one.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're doing Am I
Kate
the
or Sam,
Arsehole?
do you want to read this one?
Do you want me to or do you want to?
I'll do it. So
Okay.
this is a Reddit Am I
So
the
yeah, this
Arsehole?
is Am I an Asshole from Reddit.
Okay. So I, 28 male, recently went on a date. I met Sally, that's a fake name, but she's 25 female, on Hinge. Connected well, and we both decided to meet for drinks. I don't go to Hinge for hookups, but sex does happen when you connect with someone, and I like to be prepared, so I will bring protection. The night goes well, great conversation, great chemistry, and she invites me back to her place. We talk a little longer and we get to her bedroom, and as things get hot and heavy, I pull out a condom. And then the room dynamic changes. She questions why I brought a condom and then politely asks me to leave. As I get home, apologising in the process, she states that she doesn't like the idea that I was potentially expecting to get lucky, understandable, and doesn't think it would work. After bringing this back to the friend, male and female group, it has been mixed feedback. Where, on one hand, it is responsible to bring your own protection. On the other, it is kind of a weird move to do that early in the dating process. Wanting to hear the thoughts from the general population, especially as it is pretty common for me to bring a condom on the first date. Am I the asshole for wanting to be safe if a situation happens, but also expecting a situation to potentially happen early on in dating?
I mean, I don't know what she's expecting. It was kind of getting, from the way it was described, it was leading to that point. What, she's going to be like, oh, just don't come in me, all right? Like...
I don't know. I think there should have been like a conversation rather than just going...
Yeah, I think they're asking the wrong question, right? Like, I don't think there's an issue with carrying protection. If anything, that's like a good thing to do. But
It's
by
also
pulling it
pretty
out,
standard.
yeah, but by taking out the condom, you're basically going to that person,
Initiating.
like, initiating, right? Instead of it'd be no difference if, although it's worse if you just went and did it, or if you just said, "All right, we're having sex right now." So it's the action of bringing it out is the part
think
which
we're
is a
missing
bit, you know,
co-
this
They
kind
should,
of
like I said,
information.
there should have been a conversation between
Yeah.
both parties.
Because it seems like they were. Because it seems like the person from reading this is more annoyed at the fact that they brought her out.
That's what I
rather
mean.
than
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the fact they brought the condom, as
Yeah.
opposed to the fact that they were
That they had it
thinking
anyway.
they were going
yeah.
to have sex.
Whereas the person is asking, "Am I an asshole for carrying it on me?" That's
You're
not
not-
really
no.
the question.
Yeah.
The question should be, "Am I an asshole for
Whipping it out.
assuming that sex is going to happen right at that moment?" Which is very hard to say without like more context and stuff. If that makes sense, I think so anyway. But
I think it's bringing it with you. Like there is a thing. I don't do it. But there is mainly because my wallet can't fucking hold it. But there is a thing where people would basically like walk around with like one on them anyway.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just to have that there. And it's a really weird thing as well because you can't like it's really awkward. Do you think it's up to the woman to bring it or the guy to bring it?
I think both should.
The
It
guy.
shouldn't be up to the guy.
Oh yeah.
I think it should be both.
Because it's I don't know, it's kind of weird. It might be something where you get to that point and you're like, look, I don't have any. I'd rather not do it now because I don't want to risk it. We'll table this, we'll prepare better for the next time and then do that. But that would mean shutting down everything at that moment to have a logical conversation to then go home.
I don't know. I kind of feel like the person's on a weird like. I understand why they might be upset because they're sitting there thinking that the other person has assumed that they're going to get lucky, but at the same time, the guy's decided, okay, I'm going to make sure that we're going to be safe if something does occur. That's the way I read it.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like
Which
bringing a coat with you in your bag because it might rain.
yeah,
True.
It's maybe, well, it's basically the same sort of thing.
if
yeah.
if the
the coat
coat's
for
going to
you
go
really
inside
instead.
you,
No, but again,
Yes.
though, innit? I think the distinction of bringing it, I don't think, well, most people wouldn't assume that that's bad, but it's the action of actually taking it out. That's what the question should be around, which I think you need more context for that. But
Yeah.
bringing it, I think, isn't exactly a bad thing. Like, you
I
know,
would agree.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
so
the video
like,
game said that she did bring the guy to her house. So that's kind
and
of like.
into her bedroom,
Yeah.
and it was getting hot and heavy. So like the implication is that they were going to at least do something. Not necessarily sex. So like I can't. It's one of those things where
It's a
like
strange
it's just
one.
making sure.
We weren't there, so we can't really
yeah.
Yeah.
tell
Also,
how
I
it went down.
definitely wouldn't have a clue because I've never like gone back with someone who I'm not already dating. I wouldn't have a clue of what the
Oh, I
well, the
have.
standard thing of like
And-
whether you're like, okay, this is enough to assume, or you know,
So like 9 times out of 10, most people will not bat an eyelid at what he's done there. More often than not, most people, from our experience, are going to be like, "Oh, cool, you brought a condom, safe."
yeah,
Or at least that
Yeah.
might just be Essex people.
It feels more like
to play Yahtzee, yeah.
I don't know.
sure.
I'd almost think it was quite nice that the person brought one because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, they're actually thinking
Responsible.
Yeah, responsible, exactly. Like not just fucking let me put you in your ass or don't worry, I'll
I'm going
pull
to destroy
out.
your arsehole.
Like, yeah, I'll destroy your ass. Yeah.
any of that is way too
Like
forward.
the last thing I'd want to do is rely on the fucking pull out method. Like it's not worth it. Maybe it is, but like you just I don't know. It's a weird one. It really is.
Yeah. All right.
It's strange.
Do you want to do? So this one is always also related to dating. Do you want to do this one, Sam?
I am desperate for a pee. Can I go pee first before we do this, or do you want to read
No,
this?
no,
and
go
then
on.
discuss?
You go to the toilet.
Because I could read her out, then go for a pee, then think about it and come back if you want me to do that as well.
Go on and do that because then we still got stuff to talk about.
All right. Let me put let me put these on so I can get ready to bolt out. Okay. We dated for 3 years, broke up for 2 years, and now we are trying to make things work again for the past year or more. We have an insane amount of trust issues due to his infidelity in the past. Things have been hard, but we are doing better than ever. Tonight we had a discussion, and he brought up the fact that he had slept with 20 plus women in 1 year while we were broken up. Before we dated, he had slept with 20 plus women, and I thought that was his hoe phase, but now I'm finding out he doubled it since. I'm struggling to view him the same. I am almost disgusted by how many women he went through in just 1 year. It makes me question his fidelity going forward, his view on sex, and whether it's just a transaction to him or not. I am worried about his impulse control, and I'm worried that when he acts like when he's... Wait, that's what he acts like when he's single. Doing coke and fucking anyone is a testament to his character and not just some phase. And then on a personal level, I'm afraid I don't live up to the sex history he has and the caliber of women he can get. This has all made me extremely insecure. He told me to try and figure out if this news changes whether I want to be with him or not and get back to him because he doesn't want to feel judged. I wanted to marry this man, have his kids, all of it. Now I can't even look at him. Will this pass or should I just end it? That's fucking major.
I think it's the wrong question. It shouldn't be about the sexual history. It should be about the fact that he's already cheated on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more of an issue to me. And then decide whether, like, at the end of the day, if you can't trust someone, I don't understand how you can be in a long-term relationship.
That's end of. Like, if you
Yeah.
cannot trust someone, you'll never be able to have this
So,
situation of, like, we built a life together.
Yeah, I feel like she's already answered the question of, like, the relationship just isn't going to
Yeah.
work out because,
She's already feeling insecure,
yeah.
and the cheating is definitely attributed to that. I wouldn't trust it. It doesn't matter how many people he slept with, even if
Yeah.
So, like,
it could be
It's purely the
one
fact
person.
that he cheated on her, and therefore that's
it
the
doesn't
issue.
even matter. It's just the whole infidelity. I wouldn't. Nah,
Yeah.
you're gone, mate.
the like last bit, obviously the bit because Sam needs a piss, he left it out.
Yeah.
Will this pass or should I just end it? Obviously, she's more like trying to phrase it in the "Am I the asshole" thing.
Yeah.
Like, not at all is she the asshole for not being able to trust him.
No.
But like, if it's the sexual history thing, then kind of, because your body count is irrelevant.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Basically, you know, what Kaif just said in chat as well. It's just the same thing. It's the fact that they cheated, and that is the issue, I think. Sam is still in the toilet. I assume he'll have the same view. We can ask him when he comes back. Stan, same view or
I'll be
neutral?
I'll be wholly honest with you.
Yeah, go on.
I was listening at the beginning,
Oh, okay,
and then
fair.
I was reading chat.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
realized, oh my god, I've tuned out Sam.
Okay, that's fair.
And then I tuned back in towards the end.
All right.
I thought you were going to come out with some clanger like,
Yeah.
no, one and done.
No, it'd be the same sentiment. He's cheated in the past. The fact that we got back together. I mean, there's probably something there that's going on in her head or whatever. But I don't know if you could ever fully trust that
Hang
again.
on.
Yeah, hang on.
So,
I've
like-
just seen Kaif's message with a laughing face. I haven't read it yet. Can you ask Stan if he can be present when he smashes for the first time? So
This is not the first time it's come up.
Kaif, I don't know if you were here earlier, but we were literally asking Stan again if we can be present when he has his first date.
Well,
'Cause I think
you
that would be
asked that,
funny.
and then you also said, "Nah, we're gonna do it." And you're like, you're not
Yeah,
gonna know about it. And
You
it's
gotta
like,
let us know.
I'm not gonna let you know.
Yeah, but Kaif, have you read Kaif's message? He's skipping steps. He wants to see you
Yeah.
smash.
I don't think
must have
I don't think
pound
that's
town.
okay for anyone else to see.
No.
Well, you'd
Plus,
have
there's
to,
also
you'd
some
have to find
consent area.
a willing person who is
Would
like
happy to be
okay with
watched.
Kaif watching.
I'm not okay with it.
Ah, well then we can't do
And
it.
well,
Then.
there you go.
No,
not
Kaif,
further,
Kaif asked,
apparently.
can we be there when you smash for the first time?
I want to see little Stanley get his fucking rod on.
Little Stanny's on his little Stanny. He's like,
Yeah, that'd be class. I'd love to see that.
I get that you're
But
okay
Stan-
with it, Kaif, but that's not the point.
I want to be there, pushing your cheeks in, being like, yeah, let's go. I'm pushing you on the swing.
Oh Christ!
Mate, just fucking, get him.
Go on, give it some extra depth.
Everybody agreed
What was
she's an
your-
asshole, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's
All
fucking
right.
crazy. I don't know who the infidelity was with, but to fucking go to that point, it's very easy or a very common thing to get insecure over how many partners your partner has had.
Yeah.
It really is, especially because you feel like you don't match up to it. But at the end of the day, they chose you. You should be happy about that.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel inadequate, that's your own shit. Go talk to somebody. Go fucking sort her out. Come on. Don't dump her on your partner, because you should be building a greater love together and a greater happiness, not feeling mad insecure over the past.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Right. We'll do one more of these, which I think Kate's going to have to read because it's a long one.
This is a long one.
Okay. So, my wife is fully obsessed with Taylor Swift. For the last year, that's all she listens to. Every Taylor Swift album on one continuous loop when she's working out or even just walking around the house doing stuff. We spent $2,000 to go see her recently
That's a
at the
lot.
Eras tour. Probably spent another $200 on merch. She filmed the show on her phone and she'll regularly put it on the TV and just watch for hours.
They're fucking mental.
We'll also watch the live streams of her performances on TikTok or whatever streaming platform those that are on. Is now going to see the concert movie. I mean, it's been non-stop Taylor Swift in our house for a long time now. She continually refers to the live concert as the best experience of my life.
Yeah, great.
She says Taylor Swift is a lifestyle.
fucking.
That's weird.
That's quite-
That's
weird.
an obsession.
Okay.
Get
So
it-
I
get it,
personally don't get it. I've never been obsessed with anything to that point. I love soccer and would go to watch Messi play, but I can't bring myself to spend $900 for a ticket to his upcoming match. It's just too much. I'm also really passionate about things that my wife has got no interest in, but I'm also not looking for her emotional support with those. Those are just things that that are important to me and will remain important to me regardless. I have for sure made comments to my wife implying that this whole Taylor Swift thing is getting out of hand. I also was not super stoked that she was spending that much on one ticket to go see the concert, but ultimately it's what she really wanted and we had the money, so I said yes. And I'm happy that she got to go. Recently, she blew up on me about how much I don't support her as she thinks I should with a Taylor Swift lifestyle. She cites comments I make implying it's a cult and
It is.
only one winning here is Taylor Swift waking in the dough.
Yep.
And maybe it's time to focus on other things. She wants me to stop making comments like that and stop rolling my eyes and be supportive of her and her interests. But from my perspective, it's really taken over her life and that it just can't be healthy to obsess over something like that. People need balance. I also thought of the benefits of marriage was to have someone tell you this kind of stuff and it shouldn't be an argument. So am I the arsehole? If so, what can I do about the situation to make things right?
Just replace Taylor Swift with XQC.
Just replace Taylor
Imagine
Swift.
you were spending all that money to go see him. We're fucking watching him all the time, every single day, loving it. The only thing you watch, the only thing you're obsessed with, all this fucking time, you're doing that. People would go, "You're a fucking mental case. Why is this person any different?"
I mean, I've seen it. Like, I've seen it on TikTok about how many girls are obsessed with Taylor Swift, and it's like,
Okay,
jeez.
The fan base for this is very rampant, and
It is rampant, and
about what I'm about to say.
oh right, okay.
And I might get flack for this and from them because they are mental as well to a degree. There are some really bad fans for it, but there's a lot of K-pop fans who are exactly the same as this.
Oh, yeah.
Make
True.
it their entire personality, their entire life, and everything, and it gets to a point where it is really toxic and really, really just kind of uncomfortable. And this,
Is it like BTS or whatever?
well,
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like if people use like BTS would be like behind the scenes.
Behind the
if people
scenes,
use that on
yeah.
Twitter, they get BTS fans of the band replying to them being like, "Don't use our band's name
Yeah.
to get impressions on Twitter."
I was very confused for a
yeah,
while.
that was quite a big
It's
thing.
the people
But-
like this who are, in my opinion, kind of just so, I don't want to say unhappy with their lives, but there must be something missing to have this be your whole personality.
But like,
I don't know.
I'd be interested to know how much they really do this, right? Because it sounds like they've only been to see Taylor Swift
It's
once,
the same with
right?
Beyonce fans.
And then,
Sorry, Karen.
like, so they've only been to see Taylor Swift once. which, all right, it was expensive, but it's only once. So that can't be happening that frequently. And then, I don't know, like,
So
saying about the Taylor Swift is a lifestyle is strange. But I guess listening to the music all the time, it's not that outrageous.
Some people
I
have
guess.
bands that they want to listen to all the time, and that's fair enough. Like, but you need to have some variance
I
in your
don't
life.
know.
Yeah.
Maybe she does need a bit of help. Someone mentioned, but like,
the question that comes to mind with this on like my part, so he's talking about the money of it.
Yeah.
So first thing of it, is it like his money? Is it her money? That like if she's working, she can spend it on what she wants, even if she is a bit of a head case and is obsessed. But if it's his money, and that's why he's complaining about it, why did he let them spend so much? Obviously, they're married, so it goes together.
He
but,
said
like,
that he didn't mind because it was just like, he does
trying to
say
support
that,
her.
yeah. Like, so, like, she can't moan at him that he doesn't support her because he has support her financially.
Yeah.
And I think it must have gone to a point where he's like, right, enough is enough. This is all you do.
It could very well, because Lorna's just said about it being a possibility that it's somebody who's neurodivergent, who's just
possibly.
fixated on this, and that's
Yeah.
their fixation, which is completely that. But they also said that Taylor Swift is one of the people that, I mean, I was, as you were reading through this, I was just thinking parasocial, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
yeah,
off.
I was,
And
as
that's
well.
exactly how it plays across, is that, and she is a singer who does play on that.
Yeah.
Who does play on the parasocial nature of it. Because it is very profitable for people, but it's wholly unhealthy.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I couldn't imagine if somebody I was with was going on and on about this one singer for fucking years and years. It's fucking sad that they're married and this is a problem now, which means it hasn't been a thing for forever. It's just a new thing that's happened. Well, I say new, you know what I mean.
It's a developing situation as opposed to like this has been
Yeah.
from day one, where you could have been like, "That's a red flag, I'm out."
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I think any fixation on a celebrity in any form is too much.
Unhealthy.
Yeah, it's just unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes me feel bad for the person, because it's like you're wondering what's kind of going on in their life that's made them
Maybe it could be.
feel like this, like they have to obsess over it, you know? Don't know.
Depresso.
Yeah.
There are certain bands that
What a
like,
low note.
I fucking
Yes.
adore listening to certain bands, but like after listening to them for like I'll have like I
I
don't know,
guess you listen
Go
to a
through
band.
phases,
there'll
Yeah,
be like
exactly.
a week
Yeah.
where I'll listen to them a lot, and then
I'm like, oh, I've had enough now.
Yeah,
I need to
and then at
something
that point
else.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
You need
I'm
a
done, I'll go
balance.
back to
You
other
need a
stuff.
healthy balance, and she does not have a healthy balance.
it was like when like one of Post Malone's new albums came out. I can't remember which ones. It's been years, but there are certain songs that I would listen to all the fucking time, and I loved them, and I'd be so fixated on like a couple of the songs and just listen to them over and over, and I'm like, this is class. I love this, and then a couple of days go by, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit sick of this now. Need something new.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sad.
I think with this in particular as well, that obsession and whatnot, like as you said, you could be obsessed with it for a little bit of time and then you're sort of done with it.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to imagine being obsessed with it to that extent.
Yeah,
in a way,
exactly.
because I guess you just don't have that sort of click as
Yeah.
they do, and it's hard to put yourself in those shoes. So it's hard to.
Even then, though,
Get
it's
why.
interesting. I know they've said like hours at a time or whatever, but like saying they've only been to the concert once, and then I don't know if maybe possibly the guy is blowing it out of proportion in
Could
the sense
very
of
well.
never
be.
know,
Could
yeah.
very
how
well be.
often you're doing it.
Always.
I mean, I regularly listen to music for like hours at a time, but also you can do other things while listening to
Yeah.
music. So it might be like, oh, they're listening to Taylor Swift again, but they might actually be doing like, you know, chores
be
at home
cleaning,
or another
yeah.
hobby or
Yeah.
stuff like that, right?
I can't judge. I fucking watched like 5 hours of One Piece last night, so I can't. Fucking
yeah, so
I was doing other stuff at the same time, but I was fucking watching it. Yeah.
yeah. The only bit I do think is strange though is like at least what he's saying is she refers to it as a lifestyle.
Yeah,
That's that
the
bit's a
weird
bit
bit,
like
yeah.
weird, which I guess
And then
maybe
when
leads
she
into
said
believing.
that, again, this could be like taken out of context or whatever, that she said that the concert was the happiest day of her life. That's kind of
Yeah,
like
that's wild. from a married woman.
For the married woman, yeah. Like your wedding should be the happiest day of your life, you know.
That is a very. I think that's really sad as well.
That's a low blow.
Yeah, exactly.
To hear that.
Imagine
as well
you're like, we've been married, we had a fucking wonderful wedding, and then she goes to see a fucking Taylor Swift concert. It's like, that's the best day of my life, like.
Huh? Cheers, bro.
You what?
That is kind of fucked.
Like seriously?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Right. I'm gonna quickly. Hopefully, Samuel, you're gonna disappear a sec.
Oh no.
'Cause-
So we have to alt tab for this because Glenn's gonna look something up.
Fuck. I can't see through the cameras.
What are you looking for?
Go look over
The subs.
Oh.
No, we
Are
don't
you
have-
looking for viewer
right?
activity?
Yeah, right. So we've had some people join the members since we're doing it. So
Nice
Awesome
members, boys.
Thank you very much for joining the members. S_S, thank you for joining the members. And Josh Robinson, thank you as well for joining the Robin, sorry. Thank you very much for joining the membership.
Thank you guys.
I don't think I have many other topics to cover. So unless any of you guys want to,
this was Glenn's segue to we're ending the podcast.
Yeah, boy. Unless any of you got others we want to discuss.
Say it with your chest.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay. Cheers for watching, everyone. We'll be back next weekend, same time, 8 o'clock-ish on a Sunday. Sam's going to sort one out then. So, yeah, if you've enjoyed, please come back.
You might want to bring up Discord again so they can see Samuel for the last time before we say bye.
Well, the camera isn't on him, like.
Yeah, I know, but it can't be
One
because...
sec.
It can't be
Hold
on
on, hold on.
Of course it can.
Red
Oh,
Star
no.
with $20 struck in. What a legend. What?
Rob is doing September and he's put some stupid bloody gobbles.
Yeah.
And if you reach 200 subs,
He's going to
he's
take
going
an
to wash
interesting
his
shower.
hair with an animal.
Oh,
Urine.
whale sperm.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, grim.
What?
Well, that's grim.
Yeah, is he? Well, we're ending now. Rob might still be streaming, so if you want to go see him do something stupid, head over.
Go see him getting nut on by a
Yeah,
whale.
Red Star, thank you very much for the $20 super chat.
Anyway,
Cheers,
enough
everyone.
of that.
Catch
Thanks
you
for
next
watching
week.
the podcast.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Can you put it back on cam 1?
End stream.